Now, who's watched me getting punched in the head on the internet? It's a lot of fun. I will now endeavour to tell you the actual story of why this happened. A lot of people have written to me and asked if it really did happen and if it was fake. It was completely real. What happened was, I was in a comedy club, the Manchester Comedy Store. It's about 450 people here. There was a woman up on the balcony that kept on heckling and heckling and heckling, and I put it down, and then eventually I went, I'm going to leave you alone now, like your dad did, right? And then I went, it's a shame your grandfather never did. I know, funny, right? Anyway, there was a guy on this side of the room who I assume had some issues with his grandfather. And he took some umbrage on what I said and decided he was going to punch me in the head. But he was an Irish bloke, so he had a full drink. So he waited until he finished his drink and then punched me in the head. But he never yelled anything out. He just sort of put his drink down calmly and went, all right, I'm going to fucking smack him. Now, when he hit me, I was in the middle of my cunt material. So for me, this was a very odd moment for a man. Jim Jefferies! Okay, all going? Good. Welcome to the recording of my first ever DVD, people. So thank you for coming. Who's seen me before? Give me a yell. Right, who's never seen me? Okay, you do seem like a happier bunch. Well, as I said, the show's called 30, man. It's just basically a lot of stories heading up to the age I am now. I just wanted to rip off the 300 poster, so it's really got nothing to do with fucking nothing. There's no point in it or anything. I get to travel over this job. Actually, this is the third date on the tour. 2 days ago, I was in Helsinki doing a gig, and we got 600 people came to the fucking gig, but only because they were just like going, are you the man who got punched in the face? So good to see you. I love all that shit, though, man. I went to Sweden, man. The Swedish people are the best looking people I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't see one ugly fucker while I was out there. I think they might be killing the ugly people. Now, I'm not saying they're walking around killing people. I'm saying they're doing it from birth, right? There'll be like a woman giving birth. There'll be like a doctor, and then there'll be like an official guy in the corner, right? The doctor pulls the baby out. He shows it to the official bloke. He goes, no. The doctor gets the baby's head. Throws it in the corner with all the other ugly dead babies. And they're such a rational breed, I don't think the woman would even be upset. I think she'd just be going, was it ugly, was it? Thank you for saving me from the shame. But it's my own fault, you know, I shouldn't have had... In South Africa doing some gigs, I was out there with a gay comedian. He took me to this gay club in South Africa, and we took 2 ecstasy tablets each, right? And he's off on the dance floor trying to get some dick. And I'm standing in the bar chatting to a couple of lads I've never met before, and one of them goes, you're wasted, aren't you? And I went, yep. And he goes, do you want to come to the bathroom with me? Now, as a drug taker, I think he's offering me a line of coke. So I went, would I? Not only did I do that, but I put my arm around him, dragged him off to the toilet, and went, this is going to be fucking awesome, man. I went into the cubicle first to wipe the seat down. Then I leaned out and beckoned him in. Now, I don't know about all the men in the room, but I know these days when I get my old fella sucked off, he takes a little while to stand to attention. But he must have really liked me, because he walked in with what I can only describe as a great big black cock. He shut the door to the cubicle. There are now 3 people in the cubicle. Me, him, and the great big black cock. Just to give you dimensions of the man, he's this tall, he's this wide, the cock's erect, it's poking into my stomach. I look up at him and I go, I thought we were going to do some coke. And he went, do you want some coke first? I only want coke. But I can see how with your accent you may have mistaken that for cock. Now I'd like to say that something funny happened after that. All that happened was, and the reason for that is there's a lot of spastics out there. Do you want to know who finds that word offensive? Not the spastics, the people who know spastics, people who are friends with spastics. If you're such a good fucking friend, why don't you bring them out tonight, you fucking cunts? Furthermore, a few years ago I did 3 gigs for Scope. They rang me up and said, Jim, we'd like you to do our benefits. And I said, are you sure you want me? And they said, you're the only comedian who's ever made jokes about us whilst we're in the room. So anyone who's offended, you can go get fucked. I'm spaz approved. In fact, in their review, they gave me 4 oohs, which... Now, as I said before, if you're friends with these people, why don't you bring them out? You always get some bleeding heart come up to you after a gig going, do you know my best friend is a... Not a spastic, but they... And then you're like, well, where the fuck are they, you bitch? Fucking... I used to work as a disabled carer before I was a comedian. And it was a good job. You felt good about yourself at the end of the day. And I saw some heartwarming things there, man. I saw some fucking miserable things, but I saw some things that made me feel good, man. I got fired for racing them. It sounds a lot worse than it is, right? You say racing retards, that's offensive, right? Call it Paralympics, goodwill. And so... Anyway, I'm going to tell you a good story that came from there. Something nice, right? I think this story is inspiring. You mightn't agree with me, but I took these 2 lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy, right? Not with the power of. It's not like they're magical. You assume they'd have some... The only real magical disabilities are dwarfs. Midgets aren't magical. They're just freakish little people. Don't worry about that joke. It goes over the midgets' heads. Doesn't go over the dwarfs' heads. People underestimate how big their foreheads are and just smacks them in the 14th wrinkle. Anyway, I took these 2 lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy. And we wheeled them down to the beach, and there's that beautiful moment when you're at the beach and you're just looking at the water and the sand where you're eating an ice cream. You go, how long do we stay here for? What's the appropriate amount of time? It's not like they're going to go swimming. And in Australia, you can sunbake topless. So there's a lot of topless women walking around, and you're not meant to look at topless women when they're on the beach. If one woman in this room was topless right now, there'd be no gig. The show would be over. The room would be freaking out. Right? But at the beach, if a girl's topless, you're meant to just act like this is normal and not look or poke. So, anyway, this girl walks by with tremendous tits, right? Now, one of the lads who has no muscle memory whatsoever, right, he's all hawkinged up, right? And... a pair of tits walked by, and I swear to God, he fucking locked on. Like a solid fucking... He did not fucking deviate as she went by. And I was thinking, is this some type of therapy that they've never offered these people? Anyway, so I start thinking right now, as an able-bodied person, I can't stare at tits because someone will punch me in the head. But I think, fuck it, I'm going to start staring at tits. Who's going to punch me in the head? I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm with 2 spastics, right? So I start staring at tits. Then this big fat-ass woman with just bikini bottoms on with her tits hanging out walks by. And one of the lads turns to the other one and over the course of 5 minutes, but I'll speed it up for you, goes, "There's one for you, mate." Now, it's a lovely joke. It's a joke that we have all enjoyed. Everyone has done that joke with their friends, gone, "That's your wife, that is," and we've all had a good laugh. It's not a great joke, but you know what I found heartwarming, what I found inspiring about that? You know what was inspiring? This guy can't wipe his own ass, yet he's too good for the fat chick.